Hello, YouTube. My name is Alex, and you are watching the Unjustifiable Homicide Podcast. Today I will be discussing the brutal murders of two Indiana girls, 13-year-old Abigail Williams and 14-year-old Liberty German. My goal here today is quite simple. I am going to review the case very briefly, and then I'm going to propose a number of ideas that I have about the unknown subject who committed these brutal slayings. On February 13th, 2017, Abigail Williams and Liberty German went to the Monon High Bridge Trail to spend the afternoon after being off of school for the day. They would spend their time walking through the trail, enjoying the scenery, and taking photographs. One photograph of the bridge, and the photograph you see here of Abigail as she crosses. This picture of Abigail was taken at approximately 2:07 p.m. At some point shortly thereafter, the two girls were approached by an unknown subject. Liberty German, the hero of this scenario, captured some video and audio footage of the suspect on her cell phone. Footage we are now going to play for you.
Guys, downhill. Guys, downhill. Guys, downhill.
The person that the police believe to be photographed and heard on that audio tape is a white male, approximately 18 to 40 years old, local to the Delphi area, and very familiar with the trail system. The police also initially released a sketch, seen here on the left, of an older man wearing a cap, hair sticking out from the sides, and a goatee. This sketch was placed in front of the public in July of 2017, approximately 5 months after the murders took place. At the beginning of this year, in April 2019, the police said they had taken the investigation in a new direction, releasing the second sketch, which you can see on the right, of a younger, much younger looking unsub. It's difficult to say with any certainty whether or not the initial sketch was just proven to be incorrect, or if witnesses have recanted their original statements, or if new information has been developed, which has led police to believe that the new and updated sketch, initially created 3 days after the murders, more accurately reflects the visual appearance of the unknown subject who committed this brutal murder. Now returning to the April 2019 press conference, pictured here, I have a number of my own suspicions or deductions about the man who committed these murders. But one thing I think that I would like to discuss more, at least in this video, is the actual press conference itself that took place back in April. I believe that the purpose of this press conference was not necessarily to elicit new tips or new information from the public, but was instead deliberately aimed at the unknown subject, the murderer responsible for the crime. The purpose of this press conference, which I feel has been largely overlooked in the media and on YouTube, was to inform the killer that the police are now solely focused on him. Whatever information it was that they had prior to this press conference is no longer relevant, and they are now laser focused on their true person of interest. It is at this point that I would like to read from the transcript of the press conference, where the killer is directly spoken to. Quote, "We also believe this person is from Delphi, currently or has previously lived here, visits Delphi on a regular basis, or works here. We believe this person is currently between the age range of 18 and 40, but might appear younger than his true age. Directly to the killer, who may be in this room. We believe you were hiding in plain sight. For more than 2 years, you never thought we would shift gears to a different investigative strategy, but we have. We have likely interviewed you, or someone close to you. We know this is about power to you, and you want to know what we know. And one day, you will. A question to you. What will those closest to you think of when they find out that you brutally murdered 2 little girls? 2 children. Only a coward would do such a thing. We are confident that you have told someone what you have done, or at the very least, they know because of how different you are since the murders. To the murderer, I believe you have just a little bit of a conscience left, and I can assure you that how you left them in that woods is not what they are experiencing today. Many wondered about the purpose of these remarks, spoken directly to the killer. When it is quite clear to me, the purpose of these remarks is to put stress on the offender. Even though he is a multiple murderer, this person still likely has a family, likely has children, is a major part of his local community, is considered an authority figure or a leader in that community, and thus cares for his family and his children. We have to get past the point where we see these people as monsters, because they are not. People like the bridge guy are human beings capable of horrific violence. Pretending that they are monsters makes it impossible for us to see them as they really are. It is the exact reality that enables this killer to hide in plain sight right now. Because no one in his life would suspect that he was capable of committing such a brutal crime. What we have to remember is that the reason this person was able to go back into the community and become invisible is because he appears incredibly normal, incredibly average. Perhaps more so than simply average. Someone with this ability to make themselves completely invisible, to hide this part of themselves, has had a lot of practice and a lot of experience and is very, very good at it. An offender such as this is firmly aware that there is something wrong with him. That's why he's able to hide it so incredibly well. Does he have a conscience? Absolutely. This is the kind of person who is probably donating his time to volunteer, helping other people working at a soup kitchen, maybe donates to charity, coaches his kid's soccer team, is vice president of his church. All of this is camouflage because he knows that something is wrong with him and he doesn't want anyone else to find out because of what that will cost him. As human beings, we all exist on a spectrum. We are all capable of great and evil things. And this killer, like the rest of us, exists on that spectrum. I don't believe that violent offenders, such as this killer, lack empathy. I believe that they feel the pain of their victims acutely. The only problem is they get pleasure from it, instead of experiencing the pain and suffering that they are inflicting on other people, or that other people are experiencing independently of these offenders. They feel pleasure, curiosity, ecstasy, power, domination. It makes them feel both uniquely special and absolutely horrifying. More likely than not, the kind of offender who carried out the murders of Abby and Libby is not the kind of offender who wants to be known intimately. He hides this part of himself so well that he has come to enjoy his ability to keep it hidden from others. There are those killers that are seeking to share this part of themselves with other people, but because of the nature of the violence that they inflict on other people, they know it is unlikely to be received well. None of this is to excuse or justify or validate the behavior of murderers like Bridge Guy or anyone else. I only seek, and we should only seek, to understand them so that they are no longer capable of hiding in plain sight.